G'day guys, and welcome to the Purple Bucket Foundation. This is the 5th birthday anniversary, and in this video I will be chatting with Kim Allgood, who is the founder and director of the Purple Bucket. Welcome Kim, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So to start with, the Purple Bucket Foundation primarily focuses on complex regional pain syndrome. It does focus on other chronic pain conditions, I know that, but I know its primary focus is CRPS. So assuming you have CRPS then, how long have you had it and how did you initially get it?
I've had it now for 7 years, almost, and I got it through a workplace accident. During the cleanup of the Bundaberg floods in 2011, I slipped on a little bit of water and my foot decided to lift a commercial deep fryer all by itself.
Oh.
So that hurt a little bit, but it damaged the nerve in my right foot, and yeah, CRPS developed from that.
Straight away, or did it take its time?
Pretty well instantly. I knew I'd damaged the nerve straight away because of the instant pins and needles and the shock of nerve pain. I ended up at the hospital that day, and they diagnosed nerve damage. My GP said it was CRPS. That happened in the January. By the April, my GP said he was pretty sure it was CRPS, but as a GP, he didn't have the authority to diagnose that, he said. He didn't tell me anything about it. He just said he thought it was CRPS. Sent me to a specialist who proceeded to say I needed physiotherapy, and the best thing for me to do was to suffer through a ice bath type thing. So he suggested I get a vessel large enough for my foot and to put my foot in this ice wash and then take it out and put it in warm water, then put it back in the ice wash, and so on and so on. I could not do that. The pain, like I did it once, the pain was excruciating. The physio was for hydrotherapy and massage. They massaged my foot at the very end of the 2-week physio and hydrotherapy course. The pain of them touching my foot by that stage was pretty horrific. I tried to return to work in the April, but putting a shoe and sock on was impossible, so I couldn't return to work. I was on work cover. They put me through hell up here in Queensland, and they sent me to a specialist so he could tell me that I didn't have CRPS and I was bullshitting about everything, and he diagnosed CRPS.
Okay.
Which
upset it's a bit undeniable, you know.
Yeah.
So
it just under 12 months after the accident, I ended up with also in my left foot. The right foot didn't swell very much. It was just really painful, and the discoloration. My left foot swelled up like crazy, and
legs and feet seem to do it more because you can't hold it up in the air. When I get it in my arm, in my hand, I can hold it upright like I do the majority of the time, and it keeps the blood flow out of it as much, and it reduces the swelling quite a bit. Hard to put your foot up in the air without bedriding yourself completely, or, you know what I mean, for hours on end type thing, you know.
My feet don't like being elevated. It hurts them more.
Okay.
They don't like being down very much either. They prefer horizontal. They really argue with me about what they like and what they don't like. They definitely don't like running into things at all. So for the first easily 18 months to 2 years, the pain was just incredible. I couldn't handle being touched, clothes, bed sheets, everything was just really quite horrific. I was basically in a wheelchair, and at that time I only had a manual chair, so I counted on my carer, Lisa, for everything. And it was terrible. I lost so much of myself. I couldn't drive. I couldn't anything. It was really, really bad. But coming forward, we were we were playing on the Wii, 10-pin bowling, and Lisa was winning, so I got a little bit serious, and I hurt my shoulder, and I now have CRPS in my arm.
Spreading, yeah.
No, it's a new one. It's not a spread at all. It's completely new and very different to what's in my legs. So, whereas my legs prefer to be warm, don't like cold water at all, my arm can't stand hot. So, having a shower, apart from the pain of the water, is really confusing for my body, because my feet prefer the water to be a little bit over warm. My arm can't stand it and prefers it to be a little bit under warm. So there's this, my body is like, what are you doing to me? Because my feet don't like anything that's under tepid, and my arm can't handle anything that's over tepid. So it's like how hard it is to have a shower, because it's like, well, your bottom half has to be hot and your top half has to be cold. It's like, how do you do that? You know, cut yourself in half so you can have a shower. It's like crazy stuff. So it's two completely different things. So, but anyway, that happens. It's life with CRPS, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very common for many CRPS, most of us, to struggle to shower and bathe because of some reason, mainly pain, you know what I mean? But and it does become an issue with a lot of people, especially when you get the full body sweats and stuff, and you got long hair and stuff like that. It can, you know, if you're not washing it and looking after it.
We also have to go through menopause. You don't have that problem.
No,
so we get the CRPS sweats and stuff, plus menopause on top of that. Holy moly! It's just not nice stuff. So it's just
that age as well. So the Purple Bucket Foundation works on other chronic pain issues. Have you had any other chronic pain issues before your CRPS?
Yes, and that's probably the main reason why we work with other chronic pain conditions as well, because CRPS being a neuropathic issue, I had an accident back in '93 which left me with other chronic pain conditions, which include trigeminal neuralgia, which is a very nasty neuropathic pain, which some American doctors have said is CRPS, but there's no proof of that, so I won't go down that alley. But that has spread since I've got CRPS. So I've got the trigeminal neuralgia. I also have acquired brain injury, epilepsy, and TMJ, and those things, not the epilepsy, but the other things that I was left with after the motorcycle accident have gotten worse since the CRPS. And chronic pain is a very misunderstood thing. So whether it's neuropathic pain or migraines or TMJ or what have you, all these conditions are misunderstood. So, and people with any type of neuropathic pain are quite often not believed. So all those things are, those people need to be heard for that reason. You know, it's hard. So that's why we so support people with other chronic pain conditions.
That is not a nice feeling, being not believed about the extent of your pain and your condition, you know. And it's unfortunate because there is a few people out there who fake these things so they can get work cover, then get off of work so they can get pills and medication and stuff like that, you know. But
And it makes,
they are the minority. They have to be the minority.
yeah,
You know
but
what I mean? Like the majority are legitimately in pain, you know.
yeah,
Mm,
it
mm,
makes it difficult for those that are real.
mm. So, what gave you the idea to start the Purple Bucket Foundation charity?
Um, I was in a lot of pain, um, and I guess I just had my first dystonic type episode, um, and it was kind of funny, but not because of her, but it was, yeah, you had to be there type thing. And I was sitting with my feet in warm water and Epsom salts in a big bucket because you got to fit your feet in. And I was telling Lisa about this idea I had because I wasn't getting um, information, Australian-based information. All the information I could find was American-based. Um, the support and stuff that I needed, there wasn't any in Australia. Wasn't enough in Australia.
Yeah,
I lived in a regional area, so there wasn't. People didn't know about CRPS. I wasn't getting the help I needed and what have you. So I thought something had to be done. So I explained what I was thinking to Lise, and I said I'm going to do it. So yeah, I decided to do it. It's as simple as that, really. Something had to be
yeah,
done. Someone had to do it, so I
yep,
decided to do it.
good. Glad you
Um,
did.
and that also led to the naming of the charity itself. It's
Yeah,
like
that was my next
think of a
question
name.
is how'd you come up with the Purple Bucket Foundation? You know, it's
Well,
it's an odd name, but
I'm allergic.
it's different.
I'm allergic to all the medication, and so all the medication that they use, whether it be the Neurontin or the Lyrica or the gabapentin and all the things that they use for CRPS, I'm allergic to it. So
Yeah,
my the only thing that I could use to even get any relief from the pain was Epsom salt or lactic soda in warm water in the bucket. The
yeah,
bucket that I used happened to be purple.
yep,
So Lisa turned around and said, call it the purple bucket. It's the only thing that eases your pain. It's the only time you can sit and relax and get any relief.
yeah,
So we called it the purple bucket.
yep,
That's how it happened. That
yep.
simply.
That makes sense.
So we called it the Purple Bucket Foundation.
Yeah, yeah. So that you
And we,
also created a bow from that, which is the little purple bucket character. Bow being short for Bucket of Hope.
yeah, Bo actually came a little bit later. It was after that we got the charity registered. And we were only talking about that last night. Um, Bo, Lisa had said to me, "You got to put arms and legs on the bucket," and I
Hmm.
said, "Yeah, should." And someone else had also mentioned to put legs on the bucket, so I decided, yeah, okay, we need to do that. And so I got to designing. I mean, arms and legs wasn't enough. We needed to turn him into a character.
Yeah,
And then Lisa said, "Can you spell Bo B-O-H?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Well then, Bo, Bucket of Hope." And there it was. So not only did Lisa name the
right.
Purple Bucket Foundation, Lisa named Bo. And but as she pointed out last night, I created Bo.
Yep.
I designed him and brought him to life. And
It's a
the
team
pictures
effort.
of all of the I couldn't have done any of this without Lise and the other
Yeah,
people who helped along the way.
yeah,
And it's like the mascot, the actual mascot that got worn at the Man from Snowy River Festival the year that we went. Um, Lise and Michelle helped make him. Lise came up with a template that actually got him made. I hand painted. He was
Are you
hand
talking
painted.
about the actual costume with the person in it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Um, Unfortunately, the paint ate away the foam and what have you, so it was a one-off thing. We will get another one made,
yeah,
but we had a lot of fun making that and what have you. It was, really good.
yeah.
But again,
Maybe you could use dye or something as well instead, or maybe there's a
uh,
special rubber paint or something you could use for it. There'd
we're
have to
going
be
to
something,
use
yeah.
completely different material, but it was a lot of fun, and
Hmm.
it was a great event. But Bo, he's a really cool little dude, you
Hmm.
know, and he has created the hope that we hoped that he would do. He really is a bucket of hope, and that's what it's
Yeah,
all about. You know,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah.
So, did you find it hard to kick this project off? Was there any major setbacks in doing so?
Um, well, the first major setback was they didn't want to give us the word foundation, because most foundations have lots of money,
Yeah,
which we didn't have. Um, but we were able to we wrote a letter back, explaining that foundation is also the sturdy base of any construction or object or what have you, and we explained that by letting people know that we had that foundation, we could grow from there.
yeah,
They accepted that, and so we got foundation. Other than that, um, we basically did it um, with a very small steering committee,
yeah,
and financed it ourselves. We didn't have, well, pretty much myself, we didn't
yeah,
have any major funding or what have you. So I got all of the red tape and everything sorted, and all the registrations and everything sorted before we went public.
cool.
So
Yeah,
everything, yeah,
yeah.
we did all of that
So how
before
have you
anything
gone
else happened.
with funding since then? Um, have you
We've had
picked
a
up,
couple of,
major companies and lots of interest and stuff, or
we haven't got any major companies as yet. We're hoping, obviously. We've had a couple of government grants and a few donations, but nothing major as yet. But fingers crossed that a few things will happen as we
yeah,
move forward. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, CRPS awareness is something that certainly needs to be brought up to speed here in Australia with some of the rest of the world for starters.
Yeah,
And even the rest of the world needs to be brought up to speed in general. Um,
definitely. One
so
of one of
yeah, and it requires funding. There's no
yeah,
other way around it. Um, Marketing, advertisement, it all requires funding.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah,
Unfortunately, but
we're still considered very young, and
mm,
as we grow and become better known, all of that will happen.
yeah, yeah,
It's
for
just a
sure,
slow
for sure.
process.
Yeah, yeah. So, what achievements have you had so far in the last 5 years that you've been running?
Well, becoming a registered charity from where we started was pretty big.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Realistically, we were the first um, registered health promotion charity for CRPS in
yeah,
Australia. Um, Although there are um, associations for chronic pain and what have you, we were the first
yeah,
to concentrate on CRPS. Um, we, the Purple Bucket Foundation, as a group, um, organised for the approval of scramble therapy to be approved for use in Australia. So we organised for that. Introducing Bo to the public was another pretty big thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
Just raising awareness and what have you. We are, what I'd like to happen in the not too distant future is to get information into doctor surgeries and clinics and what have you about CRPS. We need a big grant for that, so that's one of the things that I'm working on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting there. So,
yeah. So, what's the ultimate goal for the Purple Bucket Foundation? What do you see as the ultimate achievement in the end?
Raising awareness about CRPS in the medical industry, medical community, and the broader community, so that people with CRPS and all those affected by the condition and other chronic pain conditions are better understood, receive better treatment, and don't have the problems that we suffer from now with the lack of understanding.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's the ultimate goal, to raise awareness in the places where it's needed the most.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate.
Which I agree is to the medical professionals, because like you said, your GP just said you've got CRPS, but I can't officially diagnose you. Off you go to a specialist. They don't actually tell you anything about CRPS. I mean, I understand these days it's sort of a little different, because everybody knows that we've got the internet, and everybody knows that you've got the options to go and research. But when you're diagnosed with something so rare and unknown, you expect to be told something from the person who's mentioning it. You know, just something, other than it's a rare chronic pain condition, I know they don't know much, there isn't a lot to know about it, and if they really knew how it sort of happens and how it works and stuff, they'd have a base for treatment, But they still do know enough to give you explanations of what to expect, what kind of pains and the discolorations, and just so it's not a shock to the system,
There are still some GPs that don't know, so that in itself is an issue. But Dr. Google is not the best reference, because some people will pick. Not everybody picks the top one. Some people will go to the third one or go to the second page because they think that that's better information.
Yeah.
When people read stuff, they interpret it in their own manner or by their own judgment. Some people will only read or accept the bad things. So all of a sudden, this diagnosis, this CRPS, they're reading into the last stage. So, oh my God, this is going to happen. I'm going to have to get my leg amputated because I'm going to get gangrene. Instantly, alarm bells are going to ring. Not, okay, I've been diagnosed early enough to receive treatment. I'll talk to my GP about this treatment. So they're not going to go, okay, if I do this, things might be okay. They're going to go immediately into the worst case scenario. Doctor is not the best way to treat anything. So
get that.
The sooner we can make sure that the awareness and the information is in the doctors and the medical industry, better it's going to be for those that are diagnosed with the condition. Now, for instance, with the younger people that are being diagnosed, the sooner they start doing physiotherapy and other treatments, the sooner they go into remission, and there's a higher chance that it won't return. I know that because I know kids with this condition that get physio and all the right treatment first, and they're going into remission. That's not the case for older people. So when you're not diagnosed until you're 40 to 50, that sort of treatment isn't going to get you into remission immediately. These are the things that the medical industry need to know, so that they know what treatment to take up first, depending on the age and what they can do. CRPS sufferers need to know that, not what comes after you've had it for 12 or 13 years.
Yeah. Yep.
To Google is not the best advice.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yep. Yep. For sure.
So we need this information right.
Yeah. Absolutely. So in what ways does the Purple Bucket currently help those with CRPS? Now I know that you've got a phone helpline that people can call up, and you've got emails, Facebook to contact you through. Do you get many phone calls, and what kind of help are you offering? You know, what kind of questions, what kind of reasons do people ring up for?
We have people ringing up just for information. We have people ringing up for awareness stuff. We have people ringing up because they're in crisis and need someone to talk to. So at the moment, we support not just people with the condition. We support carers. We also support people that know people with the condition and don't know where to turn. So what we do is quite varied, and it's not just phone calls. It's also private messengers and stuff like that. So some people just need to let off steam, and I let people know that I'm more than happy to be that sounding board, because I know how frustrating it can be. And if you're stuck in your house and you need just to scream, you can't always scream at your partner, because that anger can be taken the wrong way. So we're here if you need that. If you just need to let off some steam, we're here to take that for you. If you need to do that, we understand. We can be a shoulder, we can be a sounding board, we can be whatever you need us to be, because we understand.
Yeah.
We understand.
Yeah, well, it's
we're in that situation.
It's the only way you get true sympathy is from from those who have been through it, really, because it's not something that is sort of imaginable by, you know. Before I had CRPS, I couldn't imagine this kind of pain and discomfort, and having to wake up with it, go to sleep with it, and you know what I mean. I could never even imagine the discomfort of just having a shower. You know what I mean? Never even thought about, you know, would my life ever be hard enough that, you know, I would struggle to do them simple things, you know. And so therefore partners and stuff don't understand either, because they've just never been through it. You've got no idea, you can't, you know.
It's the same for carers. Carers can get extremely frustrated because they want to help more, but they don't know what to do. And sometimes I imagine that would be really, really hard, especially when you're caring for a partner or for a child. When you just want to pick them up and make things better, you can't. When it's a condition like this, or a chronic pain situation, for somebody with diabetes that is suffering from the neuropathic pain that diabetes causes, or someone with cancer and they've had their treatment, and the neuropathic pain from chemotherapy is quite extreme. You know, you're caring for somebody that's going through that. It is frightening and frustrating because there is nothing you can do, absolutely nothing. And I know what that's like. I lost my partner to cancer, and I went through the caring stage with chemotherapy. It's hard and it's frustrating. So we're here if those people need help. And we're not counsellors, not by any stretch of the imagination, but we do understand and appreciate how hard it is to be in that position.
Yeah, you probably can understand a lot better than a counsellor would as well. It's a different situation. It is, you know. I mean, I know a lot of CRPS patients have tried counselling, and they're just on a different level. They just don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to get you to do things to make you happier, and it's like, well, when you're in this much pain, it's a little hard to do these little mental tasks to make me happier. you know. I think the depression is sort of
Just
justifiable with that kind of pain, and it's a different kind of depression. You know what I mean? Than someone who's sort of just depressed. It,
yeah.
yeah.
The counsellors do their best. They do what they're trained
Oh
to do.
yes, and there's plenty of people that have helped. I don't want to take anything away from them. No, no. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, we do what we can.
Mm, mm. So on the website, you have a members option for people to
Yeah.
sign up. What can people expect from signing up as a member?
Well, it's only $1 to sign up. Um, that dollar goes to help us do what we do. And becoming a member, one, it helps us raise our numbers so that it gives us more weight when we are working towards getting CRPS recognised as a disability. Those numbers, like having those numbers, definitely puts more emphasis on the need. Um,
Yeah.
and that's one of our big projects at the moment, getting it
Yeah.
recognised as a disability. It's not an easy task, but it's definitely one that we are working on. Um, and having numbers definitely makes that easier to do,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's a united voice. So those numbers create that voice. So basically, for $1 to become a member, what you get for that dollar is us working hard for you to give you the things that will help you in the long run. So yeah,
It's worth it to be that voice, to be that extra number, because as you say, the numbers make a
yeah,
difference when requesting anything from the government or anything like that. Is it just a couple of people requesting this, or is there thousands behind it? What's the
exactly.
scenario? How many people do we have to argue with? is the question. If there's too many, then they'll give up. you know. But
We're advocating on behalf of the people that are suffering from this condition and their parents and their
mm,
families. That you know, we're not just doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for everybody.
yeah, yeah. So you have options there to donate to as well. Um, Now, I know that you know the question was what happens with these donations. Now I know that you guys run awareness projects, and recently you sponsored um, the Colour the World Orange Day event in Adelaide
Yep.
um, on November the 6th. So it's good to see that the money is also going to help sponsor little awareness events and stuff like that as well. But what else? Where else does the donations go to? And what people expect when they donate to you? What's going to happen with it?
As I mentioned just before, our main thing at the moment is getting money together so that we can put information into doctor surgery waiting rooms,
Hmm.
community service centre information sections, and hospital waiting rooms and specialist waiting rooms and what have you. So those um, things on the walls where you have all your
Yeah.
pamphlets and stuff. Um, it will cost us just to have in there for 2 months over $100,000. It's not cheap. So
Wow.
yeah, I know it's absolutely insane. When I
Wow.
looked into it,
I thought you
um,
could just walk
I
up and
was
put a handful of brochures in there and just leave them there. But
it's a group called MedInfo or something or other. So I contacted
wow.
them to find out what we have to do. Um, they've got to be printed in a certain way. You can only have them in there for X amount of time. The minimum amount of time is 2 months, and
Wow.
you've got to supply X amount of number to have them all over Australia. And for us to do it, to have them everywhere in Australia for the 2 months, which is the minimum, it's 120 something thousand dollars, and that's to
Wow.
have them in there for the minimum amount of time.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be
And
great to see them in there. There's so many times I've regularly sit in the doctor's waiting room and look through
so
pamphlets or stare at them, and I'd just love to see CRPS written on one of them. Yeah.
that one raise awareness, but also when somebody's diagnosed for the first time and the doctor says Google, you can
Yeah.
walk out
Yeah.
and go, it's there. So,
Yeah.
or if somebody has said to someone, oh, it may be CRPS, they walk in and there it is.
Yeah.
Fear and what have you can subside because that information's there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
that's the sort of stuff that needs to happen. But we need money to make that happen. So that's the sort of thing that donations will go to.
Yeah.
You know,
Excellent.
that's what needs to happen. That's what we're
Yeah.
trying to achieve. That sort of awareness, that sort of information.
Yeah. That's how it should
That's
be.
what
Yeah.
it's about.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we're trying to do.
Mm. Mm. So, do you have any upcoming events or projects that you would like to tell us about?
Well, we've got next weekend. The girls have got a trail ride happening at just out of Corrion, which is to raise awareness. Everybody that's doing the ride has to wear an orange ribbon. They don't get fed if they don't have their orange ribbon on. So hopefully there won't be anybody going hungry. So that's pretty huge. The girls down there doing an awesome job. That's Emmy and Alison. Have been working on that. We have our 5th birthday coming up, so all through December we're going to be celebrating turning 5. We have Carers Month in May. All our carers, we celebrate our carers because caring for us lot is not easy. So
Yeah.
we say thank you. But basically, keep an eye on the Facebook page and our website because there's always something happening. Always something
Yeah.
happening. We try and make sure we look after those that look after us. Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for chatting with us. Do you have any final comments or anything you'd like to leave us with?
Just look after yourselves and each other, basically. Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
Thanks.
Very good.
Thanks for having me, Fred.
No, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.